واللعن الدائم على أعدائهم أجمعين من الآن إلى قيام يوم الدين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ربنا وابعث فيهم رسولا منهم يتلو عليهم آياتك ويعلمهم الكتاب والحكمة ويزكيهم إنك أنت العزيز الحكيم. صدق الله العلي العظيم. Recite the second salawat louder please. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد. The third one, inshallah, that the intercession of Ahlul Bayt would be also attributed to us, the loudest salawat. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد. As you're following me, you remember that we were enumerating the roles and significant aspects of the presence of Ahlul Bayt alayhim as-salam in the society. So far we have accounted two responsibilities, two roles, two important features that we can assume for their presence. First was yesterday we have talked about the establishment of the government, that it is necessary for a government to be led by whether a prophet, a messenger, or the representatives. Ma'sumin alayhim. We have talked about this, and then today we want to talk about another important thing, another important role that we can assume for prophets. It is a kind of cliche, actually, let us say, to always assume that a prophet is a teacher. Okay? So mostly what we're doing is simplifying the issue. Okay, prophet is a teacher. And it's very simple. Okay, thank you. A prophet is descended to a community in order to teach them the right path. So it is so much like the job of the teachers. So the prophets also are doing the same job. Or also in some traditions we do have the teachers are doing the job of the prophets. Okay? So that is why mostly teachers are proud of their job, because they assume it is something that has been done previously by the prophets and then representatives, infallible imams. But then I think by essence or in practice, we have to say that it's a little bit different. There is actually a difference between these two types of teachers. Like normal teachers that we can find them nowadays, every time in our societies, in the schools that they're teaching. The teachers like me, the teachers like Shaikh Mazin, the ones that they are lecturing people, letting people know about the knowledge of Islam, we're also kind of teachers. Sometimes warners, sometimes we're letting people know about what they already don't know. Okay? But what I want to say is that there is a big difference between the teachers like me and the teachers like Ma'sumin alayhim as-salam, like prophets, like messengers. Much big difference. There's a big gap between the two. Uncomparable. Incredibly uncomparable. There are some verses in Holy Quran that if we go through we'll find those differences. Now I want to draw your attention. Alhamdulillah, this year I've been blessed always to open the discussions with the verses of Holy Quran so that our knowledge of Quran would be also flourished. So there are some verses in Holy Quran that I want to draw your attentions toward it, and then afterward we will go through some interpretations of these verses so that we will at the end of this session answer, inshallah by grace of God, the questions that already we raised. that what is behind the teaching of prophets and infallible imams. What is special about it? Okay. So this is what we, inshallah, we want to do. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in some, now I want to read to you 4 verses of Holy Quran that they are important to us. So the very 2 verses of these 4 verses are being mentioned in chapter Baqarah. The first of which is chapter Baqarah, verse 129, that Holy Prophet Ibrahim was praying to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala after he finished the construction of Kaaba. What he has mentioned? He mentioned, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, ربنا وابعث فيهم رسولا منهم يتلو عليهم آياتك ويعلمهم الكتاب والحكمة ويزكيهم إنك أنت العزيز الحكيم. There are so many important things and notes that we have to reflect upon. Is that, okay, Prophet Ibrahim has done something very important. He has built and he's constructed actually the house of God. Okay, so it was not something very little. It was actually very noteworthy. And then what he did as the reward for his action, praying for his nation. This is very important. Sometimes we do a very great job, and then at the end of the day, I want a reward for myself. This is something that commonly we have in our mind. We have done something, and then I want a reward. Okay? I'm here to deliver a lecture. If I will deliver it in a very good way and perfectly, I assume your reward to me, that I will receive your compliments. Okay? If, for example, you have done something good for the center, sometimes you is a plural you, I mean, I'm also included, that we expect the authorities, the executive boards, I mean, the ones who are responsible here to, well, come up saying good things about you, that, for example, that given person, that individual has done something perfect. Thank you. At least coming up with thank you, okay? Appreciating your job. When we do something like this at home, when we're helping our parents, when parents, they're doing something for the children, they expect each other to do something in return, whether it would be by verbal, I mean, thankfulness, or it would be by, I mean, practical thankfulness and appreciation, whatever it is. It doesn't matter. The ones that they are of higher generation, spiritually, they expect God. If I do something for my children, it's not just for my children, it's just because of God, for example. If I do something for my parents, it's not just because of the parents, it's more of my loyalty to God. Okay? If I, for example, stop gazing at others, if I stop gossiping behind others, if I stop telling lies to others, if I just fast every day in this holy month, it's not because I want others' compliments. It's just because God told me. So this is the second level. But what I want to say about Prophet Ibrahim, he was of the third level. Okay? He did not want something from God, not from, for example, some others, some coming Muslims to compliment. He already was asking God, but not about himself. He was asking God for the others. I have done something for you for the sake of God. Perfect. The rewards even I'm not regarding to be my own. This is very important. So actually it was a kind of, in parentheses, I wanted to mention. Anyhow, so رَبَّنَا وَابْعَثْ فِيهِمْ رَسُولًا. Oh God, so Prophet Ibrahim is already praying for us, for some people like me, the ones that they are going to circulate around this construction important 7 times. رَبَّنَا وَابْعَثْ فِيهِمْ. Oh God, please descend and send down Rasulan, a messenger, a prophet. Okay. Minhum, from them, from among them, from themselves. Not a stranger, for example. This is actually even a blessing. that if, for example, a community has got a lecture from them, it is the best form of it. Okay? Because they understand each other. If I will come to this, for example, this community, now I will assume myself to be one of the members of this community, not to be rude, I hope. But in the very first year that I came here, I didn't know much about this community, the people that I'm going to visit, and how to communicate with people here. What are the personalities of different people? So these are the advantages of announcing a prophet from a tribe, from a country, okay? Because already they know each other. So, يَتْلُو عَلَيْهِمْ آيَاتِكَ, so that he will recite to them your manifest signs. Read to them, remind them. Okay. وَيُعَلِّمُهُمُ الْكِتَابَ وَالْحِكْمَةَ, and then teach them the book and then wisdom. وَيُزَكِّيهِمْ, and purify them. Let me just read also some other verses, and then I will come back to the important points underlying these verses. But please pay attention the differences between these verses, although they are very unanimous, but at the same time there are some tiny differences between these verses. I want your attention. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. I'm out of time. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, chapter Baqarah, verse 151. كما أرسلنا فيكم رسولا منكم يتلو عليكم آياتنا ويزكيكم ويعلمكم الكتاب والحكمة. So much the same. Okay. كما أرسلنا فيكم, like that we have sent to you رسولا منكم, a prophet, a messenger. Shaykh Mazen, stay where you're going. You have to deliver the lecture. I will finish it within couple of minutes. Don't run away. I know you. يتلو عليكم آياتنا. Recite the salawat, please. He's intentionally going out. I know that. كما أرسلنا فيكم رسولا منكم يتلو عليكم آياتنا. Likewise, we have sent to you a messenger from among you to read to you the manifest proofs. ويزكيكم, and to purify you. And then يعلمكم الكتاب والحكمة, to teach you the book and wisdom. The third verse, Al-Imran, verse 164. لقد من الله. So there is actually a reason for all these verses. Why we have sent to you the prophets? يعلمكم الكتاب والحكمة, to teach you. So they are already teachers. I'm reciting to you these verses because actually it has been mentioned magnificently and clearly that they are teachers. Okay. لقد من الله على الذين آمنوا. لقد من الله على المؤمنين إذ بعث فيهم رسولا منهم من أنفسهم يتلو عليهم آياته ويزكيهم ويعلمهم الكتاب والحكمة. The translation would be the same. Indeed, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has come up with a favor over the believers. What is that favor? What is that grace? What is that bounty? That God has sent the messenger from among you to you, to remind you. And the last one, this is what we all together recited today in Friday prayer. This is chapter Jum'ah, verse number 2. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. هو الذي بعث في الأميين رسولا منهم يتلو عليهم آياته ويزكيهم ويعلمهم الكتاب والحكمة. So you will find that, well, mostly we do have these two events and incidences consequent on each other. Sending a prophet and teaching. Okay. Now, there are 4 important things that I have to address, not today. Inshallah, I will, as an introduction, what I want to talk about tomorrow is that, well, يَتْلُو عَلَيْهِمْ آيَات first. What is behind this يَتْلُو عَلَيْهِمْ آيَات? Why it has been always mentioned in these 4 verses. First, يَتْلُو عَلَيْهِمْ آيَات. يُزَكِّيهِمْ, purify. يَتْلُو عَلَيْهِمْ means to let them know, okay? To remind them of the manifest proofs that they are underlying this universe. يُزَكِّيهِمْ, to purify them. This is second. Third, يُعَلِّمُهُمُ الْكِتَابِ, to teach them the book. What does it mean to teach them the book? Al-Hikmah. So wisdom. Okay. So these four terms have to be completely interpreted so that we will find out what is specific about teachings of prophets and their representatives, infallible, ma'sumin, that will differentiate their teaching from us, from, for example, someone like me to be a teacher. Okay. And then, did you notice the difference between these four verses? Did you pay attention to? There was a tiny difference. That difference is this. In the first verse that I recited to you, first it has been mentioned, يُعَلِّمُهُمُ الْكِتَابَ وَالْحِكْمَةَ وَيُزَكِّيهِمْ. First I will teach you, they will teach us, okay, and then they will purify us. But in the rest three, first they will purify us, and then they will teach us. Which one? Why it has been changed? Why in the first verse Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned يُعَلِّمُهُمُ الْكِتَابَ وَالْحِكْمَةَ and then يُزَكِّيهِمْ? Why in the rest verses he has mentioned, see, يُزَكِّيكُمْ وَيُعَلِّمُكُمُ الْكِتَابَ وَالْحِكْمَةَ يُزَكِّيهِمْ وَيُعَلِّمُهُمُ الْكِتَابَ وَالْحِكْمَةَ. In chapter Jum'ah, again, يُزَكِّيهِمْ وَيُعَلِّمُهُمُ الْكِتَابَ وَالْحِكْمَةَ. Which one is more important? This is the question. Tazkiyah, purification, or ta'aleem, education? This is the question that we have to address. Inshallah, when we address and answer this question, we will come to the answer and response to the first question that we raised. What is specific about the teachings of prophets? Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.